Welcome back, college football fans. We've got a blockbuster showdown this Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. as number 4 Clemson hosts number 9 LSU in Death Valley. This is Brian Kelly's 4th season under leadership with the Tigers, but can they tame Clemson's explosive offense? Let's break down the key matchups that could decide this epic clash. First, let's take a look at Clemson's explosive receivers. The Tigers have a wide receiver room that is straight up loaded, one of the deepest and most dangerous in the nation. Leading the charge is freshman sensation Bryant Wesco Jr. He was a 2024 All-American who torched defenses with yards per catch average. Then you've got Tyler Brown, back and healthy after an injury-riddled 2024. He looked really sharp during fall camp. And also with Clemson, don't sleep on Antonio Williams. He's a veteran, and he's ready for a breakout year. And then you add in freshman Tristan Smith and Juju Preston and quarterback Clade Klubnik. He's got a full arsenal of playmakers, and this group could be a nightmare for any secondary. So as we see here, the AP, right now we have the top 9 on the screen because LSU is number 9. Clemson is number 4. It's also an SEC versus ACC game. Now let's take a look at LSU's revamped secondary because this is going to be a huge matchup against those Clemson wide receivers. You know, after a rough 2024, the LSU secondary has been rebuilt with some experience and some flair. You got Mansour Delane, a transfer from Virginia Tech. He made the all-ACC team last year at the corner spot. You also have Tamarcus Cooley from NC State. He's a playmaking safety. And also, don't sleep on freshman DJ Pickett, Ashton Stamps, or Jakeem Jackson. They were highly touted athletic freaks out of high school. So let's see if they can make a difference. There is one catch. This could be a big deal for this game. Transfer safety A.J. Halsey for LSU has been suspended for this game. So that leaves a hole in the secondary. So can the retooled LSU secondary handle the Clemson wide receivers? Now let's take a look at the next matchup. Harold Perkins Jr. against the Clemson offensive line. Now, when Perkins is healthy, you know, he's a one-man wrecking crew. He has elite speed, great instincts. He's effective at rushing the passer. He can also drop into coverage. But he's coming off a torn ACL. He tore his ACL against UCLA last season. And this year, they're going to use him in a slightly different role. They're going to put him in different spots where he's going to be blitzing from pretty much everywhere on the field. And try to keep the offensive line guessing and on their heels. Now, the Clemson offensive line, which wasn't very good last year, they do have 4 returning starters from last year. They have Blake Miller, who's one of the best tackles in the country, as well as Tristan Lay. They lock down the left side. You also have some pretty good depth players like Walker Parks and Harrison Sewell, who brings some versatility. Although Sewell's transition to starting left guard is a big question. However, the Clemson offensive line is ranked in the top 10 by PFF and ESPN. So let's see how they do protecting Klubnik, and let's see how Perkins comes back from that ACL injury. Now, here's where this game can get juicy. The Clemson receivers versus the LSU secondary without Halsey. LSU's young defensive backs will face a massive test. You know, if Wesco, Brown, and Williams get loose early, it could be a long night for the Bayou Tigers. Then you got Perkins versus Klubnik. This could be fun. Again, how healthy is Perkins? He said he looked good during camp, but can Perkins rattle Klubnik? Can he get some pressure? Can he get some wins against that offensive line? That is going to be huge, especially if LSU has some young players and transfers learning the system for them. And again, if Perkins breaks through, If he could affect Klubnik's time to find the playmakers, his time will shrink. So closing prediction and hype, it's a chess match between Clemson's high-powered offense and LSU's versatile defense. With Harold Perkins as the X factor, can he take some of that pressure off the secondary? And will Clemson's receivers be able to exploit the LSU secondary? Or can Perkins and company disrupt the rhythm? One thing is for sure, Death Valley is going to be rocking Saturday night. Drop your predictions in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for more college football breakdowns. See you Saturday night.